What's up, Mavericks? If you're a small business owner in retail or food service, or you own a gym, salon, med spa, you name it, you've probably at some point considered using or at least heard of the Clover POS system. But is Clover the best POS system for your small business? You might be surprised to find out the answer. Keep watching to find out if Clover is worth the expense or if this POS is not a good long-term investment for your small business. So let's get started. Here are the main things to know. Clover is an easy-to-use point-of-sale system geared toward retail and restaurants. It has versatile hardware options and a robust app market that lets you add features and software integrations. Clover software and hardware is always sold together, and you need a reliable Clover reseller to have a good experience. This one is probably the most important thing to know, so keep on watching to find out why. Now, let's go over each of these topics in a little more detail. Clover is super easy to set up and start using. It's basically a plug-and-play system that's self-explanatory for anyone who has used any kind of tablet before. It has an Android operating system, so if you've ever used Android, you pretty much already know how to use Clover. And as far as setting up the hardware itself, there are easy to follow instructions, so even if you don't have a lot of technical expertise, you can set up your Clover system, activate it, and start taking sales without any expert assistance. If you do run into any problems, there's a one-touch button to call customer support directly from the Clover screen. Clover offers several different hardware options. There's the Clover Station Solo, which is the traditional countertop system with a swivel screen that customers can use to sign off on their purchase or add a tip. And there's the Clover Station Duo, which has a separate customer-facing screen with a built-in payment reader. Both of these come with a cash register. The cost for the Clover Station Solo is $13.49 and the Duo is $17.99. The Clover Mini is another countertop POS option, but it's very compact with the payment reader, camera, scanner, and receipt printer all included in one device. The Mini can actually be used unplugged for short periods of time. It's primarily a countertop device though, and most businesses will attach a cash register to it unless you have a cashless business. Pricing is $7.99. Moving on to the Clover Flex. This is a portable POS device with a built-in screen, scanner, and payment reader. You can use it by itself if you have a mobile business where you're not tied to the counter, but most businesses use a Clover Flex in addition to a Clover Station, for example, to use for tableside ordering and payments. This retails for $5.99. Another reason we like Clover is the Clover App Market. This is an online store for Clover apps that's similar to the Apple App Store or Google Play Store. These apps can be used to expand the functionality of your Clover system, for example, a waitlist app for your restaurant or an inventory management app for your convenience store. Some apps are free, but most have a monthly fee that you'll pay on top of your monthly Clover software fee. Which brings us to Clover software. As I mentioned earlier, you have to buy the Clover hardware and software together, which means you can't buy a second-hand Clover system and then go buy a monthly subscription plan on Clover.com. A lot of merchants may find this restrictive, especially if you're used to an iPad POS where you can source the hardware yourself and then purchase software separately or even reuse your same equipment with a different POS system. As for the Clover software plans themselves, they're fairly reasonably priced and have useful features with specialized plans for retail, quick service, and table service. Each feature, whether it's loyalty or inventory or employee management, is its own app. Different apps come with different plans. A couple of our favorite features of the Clover software are the built-in loyalty program, which is super easy to onboard customers to and is included on most plans. I also really like the reporting app, which allows you to quickly and easily print out detailed sales reports from the receipt printer. As I said earlier, this is super important. Your Clover reseller, that is the entity you purchase your Clover hardware and software from, will determine your Clover pricing, including hardware pricing, software pricing, and payment processing fees, as well as your processing structure. Whether that's flat rate, interchange plus, or a really expensive one like tiered pricing, different processing structures are better for different types of businesses, so the ability to use Clover with the varied processing types gives you some flexibility that you might not get with another POS system. For example, some Clover providers allow cash discount processing, which is not an option for most POS systems. Besides your processing structure and fees, your Clover reseller will also determine your contract length and whether you can purchase your system outright or you have to lease it. It's also the main entity you will have to deal with when it comes to customer support. Now, There are good Clover resellers that provide a fair deal with, say, month-to-month contracts, no hidden fees, and responsive customer support. There are other Clover resellers with predatory contracts that are almost impossible to exit, outrageously expensive hardware leases, and difficult to reach customer support. So it's very possible to get a good deal on Clover with pricing and a contract that works for you, but it all depends on where you buy it. If you want to know which companies to buy your Clover from and which ones to avoid, be sure to read our article on the best and worst Clover providers linked in the description below. And before we wrap up, let's go over the benefits and challenges of Clover. The main cons and challenges of Clover are the possibility of getting stuck in a bad contract, the high upfront costs for hardware, which are higher than your typical iPad or tablet POS system, and customer support. I briefly touched on customer support in terms of your Clover reseller, which you'll turn to for merchant account related issues, but Clover itself also provides some level of customer support, mostly in terms of any issues with your operating system, hardware. Reviews of the customer support that Clover provides directly are mixed, with some users reporting long wait times. Now, some of the main positives of Clover are that it's easy to set up and start using, and there's a big app market that lets you add whatever features or software integrations you need. The hardware is also attractive, sturdy, and aesthetically pleasing. Clover also offers a lot of built-in software features like its loyalty program. Clover is a very popular POS system, and for good reason. It's fast, it's good looking, it's easy to use. Even if you have no previous experience with POS, you have a number of processing options so you can choose the type of merchant account that works best for your business. A lot of cafes and coffee shops love Clover, and it can also be used in the service industry, for example, in a salon environment. But the downsides of Clover don't really have to do with the software or system itself, more so when it comes to the reseller. As all small business owners know, credit card processing fees add up over time, and if you get stuck in a bad contract with high fees, this will cost you a lot of money over the long run. If your reseller doesn't have responsive customer support, you will have a lot of headaches to deal with as well. So, what is our final verdict on Clover? Clover can be a great choice if you have a fairly straightforward retail or quick serve or service-based business. If you need a lot of specialty features, then a niche POS system may suit your needs better. Yes, you can add features and software integrations from the Clover app market, but these will add to your total monthly spend. The most important thing, if you do decide to go with Clover, is to purchase your system from a reputable reseller. This will ensure that you get a good deal on payment processing fees and a fair merchant services contract. Since you can't reuse your Clover equipment if it doesn't work out with that reseller, be sure to read that contract before signing it and make sure you understand the fees and commitment involved. Thanks for joining us today, Mavericks. If you have experience with Clover, good or bad, we'd love to hear it, so feel free to sound off in the comments. Finally, if you enjoyed this review, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to Merchant Maverick for more useful small business content. Until next time.